Hi, welcome back to my channel or blog if you're watching on evolvingseasonably.com. And today we're going to discuss how being mindful is the foundation of planning. And let's go over a little bit of housekeeping before I actually talk about the topic. Just want to let you know that everything is general here. This is not a substitution for coaching or mental health services. So please, if you need those type of services, look in your area for the appropriate professional. And you can always go to evolvingseasonably.com and look at the site rules. And if you don't know who I am Janie, and I am a mindful planner, a certified self-love coach, a holy fire Reiki master, and I'm also a high school teacher and a social worker. But that's my other life. I guess it's all my life, but it doesn't matter. Either way, this is who I am, and I am so happy to talk to you today about mindful planning as the foundation of planning, of being mindful and setting that foundation. And I gotta get the likes. Okay, this is support me, please, if you like my content, of course. And if you want to support me, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and have some fun. We're here to learn and learning together. So I learn from you, you learn from me, and take what is resonating with you and leave with you what doesn't. So here we go. So being mindful is all about awareness, and you have to focus on that awareness and be present. And sometimes it's therapeutic if, say, you're learning from a counselor or a social worker or a coach. And sometimes it's just a reflection. And being mindful is not just like meditating or writing in your journal. It's looking back at your life and looking back and saying, oh man, I think I kind of messed up. Um, I need to go reflect, or I need to think about this stuff. I need to make sure that I'm taking accountability for how I feel, as well as how I'm making others feel. So it's all tied into that focus of our awareness. And if you're willing to do it, the benefits are amazing. So let's talk about three components of being mindful. And so the three components are self-awareness, self-love, and self-care. So self-awareness, again, is the focusing on our boundaries, the triggers, the dislikes, the needs, etc., and how our behavior and how we interact with others impacts ourselves and others, positive or negatively. And again, taking that responsibility and acknowledging your needs and I don't feel good about this. Or, man, this makes me so happy. I really want to do this. And so self awareness is all about acknowledging, essentially the good and the bad, but we have to make sure that we're being authentic, not only with ourselves, but with other people when we're talking about like just being aware of our surroundings, who we are, etc. The next component is self-love. And self-love is the love you have for yourself, meeting your needs, your mindset, the love you have for others, yourself, forgiveness. Sometimes we don't forgive ourselves, and that is an act of self-love. Forgiveness is an act of self-love. And sometimes we need that self-love. We need to give ourselves a mental hug, or maybe put our hands on our heart and be like, I know I messed up today, but I know I can do better next time. I know I can apologize. I know I can do better. I know I was so hard on myself today, but I know I have talent. I know I can do this. So those kinds of things help us bring so much love to ourselves, which in turn takes us all to self-care, which is the action. Okay. So when you do your self-awareness work, your self-love work, we go to self-care and we pull it all together. Okay. So I'm aware that I get tired on Wednesdays. Okay. This is just a general example of my personal life. because Wednesdays is a very long day for me. So I know that by the end of the day, I'm so tired and I'm so like exhausted from the day that I know that I'm going to be a little grumpy if I don't have my snack. Okay. So this is, I need to have a little snacky snack, you know? If you're a snack person, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the club. I love snacks. Um, but I am aware that at 4:15 ish, I need a snack. So that way, when I see my husband, I'm not at him because I'm hangry. Okay. That's just a basic kind of thing. I'm aware that I get hungry and then in turn, I get angry. And I need to, and it's not a real anger. It's like you just get kind of moody or whatever, hangry. And I know that I need to just kind of replenish myself. And so I'm going to take this little snack, and that's going to be my act of self care, and just have a little pause, little moment at my desk. And I'm just going to be like, and then I'm ready to go. Now, does it mean that it works every time? Maybe it doesn't, depending on the day. But then again, you're back to that self awareness. If it doesn't work this day, why didn't it work? What was going on that day? Maybe it was particularly stressful that day. And that's something to think about when we're working through this. And, say that you're just tired and like people want everything from you. They're pulling you, your kids want you, your coworker needs you. It's just a lot. Okay. And you become overwhelmed. Well, the self love part says, okay, I need to step back for a little bit. Well, self awareness is and self love will tell you, I need to step away. I need to think about this. I need to understand my schedule. I need to understand my routines and what does need to be reevaluated. What do I need to change so I can have time for not only myself, but for my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, girlfriend, my kids, my cats, my animals, my dog. So these number one and number two is so crucial for the whole thing to work. Okay. If you want to live in La La Land and you're just kind of like, everything's fine, nothing's happening. You're lying to yourself. It's time to work on that. And I'm going to give you quick tips on how to do that just to kind of start that process towards the end. But again, self-care, I need breaks. I need family time. I want time to do my skincare. And this is really self-care planning right here. Because you're making, you know what you need. Like I need a shower every single day, you know. I hope everybody bathes regularly, but if I have time, I'll tell you a little story about one of my students who thought that people who didn't wash their hair, I guess I'm telling you now, who didn't wash their hair didn't ever take baths or showers. It's called a shower cap, hon. So it's kind of funny. Um, but for me, like I like to wash off the day. And that for me is that self-awareness is like I just don't feel I just gotta get it all out. And the way I do it is okay, by doing my self care here, I actually practice self love. So sometimes it can go reverse. The self love is like, oh, I still feel so much better after the shower. I'm ready to help my husband. I'm ready to, spend the day doing whatever I need to do. I just feel better after a shower. So you're gonna find your self care activities that you like. It's going to have to be whatever you like to do. And is it realistic? And is it, something that you can do? And I think sometimes when we see like, oh, breaks and goals and things like that, I don't have time. Well, make the time. You got to make the time. It doesn't just happen overnight. It takes practice. Like I'm still trying to work on my routines because my workload is very heavy this year. And it's been a struggle trying to find something that works. I'm getting there. I am getting there. But for me, it's constant here, you know. Okay, this didn't work today, but why didn't it work? Did I even try? Okay, sometimes we don't even try long enough to even know if it works. So, when you're doing this work, give yourself some time to make it work. Okay, let's go on. So, as you work on those components, self awareness, self love, and self care, you become more mindful. Mindfulness, or being mindful, is a lifetime commitment. It is not perfect, but man, it's beautiful. Okay. It is a beautiful thing. Okay. Um, I think when we think about like, mindfulness work and like coaches and all that, you think everything's perfect. It's not. Okay. It's not. No one's perfect. And the sooner you believe that, the sooner you can move on with your life. Trust me, I understand. I've been there where, oh, her life's so perfect. No, it's not. No, it's not. My life isn't perfect. Yours isn't either. It just is a human condition. Does that mean that's unnecessarily that it's necessarily bad? No. But we have to be realistic in what, life sometimes isn't very fair. And sometimes it's hard. Okay. But as we go along and we have our little tool set, we have our toolkit of everything that, helps us cope, we have a support system, then that is when we're practicing mindfulness. We're being mindful, okay? So, because we have all these tools, because we have the self awareness, self love, and the self care, we can now, you know, make our plans more clear. Because when you know what you need and want in your life, because you already know this, you already know what you need now. So you did all the work, you know what you need. So now it's time to do the work. Okay. Do the work for yourself. Okay. Maybe you need some external motivation. I mean, sometimes people just work differently. If you offer me $10 million to work out, I honestly don't know if I would. You're telling me I gotta get on a bike and work out for 10 grand? I don't know. But my husband would tell me, "Oh, come on. It's 10 grand. You can buy whatever or do whatever." And then I'll probably be like, hmm. But you have to find your motivation. Okay. I know that's a silly example. But for me, like I have to want it to do it. Like I have to find the value to do things. Um, but because you did the work, the self love, the self evaluation, the self awareness, the self care work, now you can make the plans. And that's mindful living. That's what, this is all about. Mindful living is self awareness, self love, and self care. And planning is the action that we take, but we actually have to implement that though. You can write it in your planner, and let me find my planner over here. Um, right now, I'm on an LVGM. Um, but if I'm not using my planner, right? if I'm not if I'm just writing in it or I'm not even using it, how can my life be mindful? How can I and that's not necessarily okay, so let me back up. If I'm not doing anything, right? I can't live a mindful life. Okay. If I'm just not wanting to take accountability for anything that I do, say, etc., that's obviously not being mindful. If I'm writing it in my planner, right? That's a great place to start. You're writing in your planner, you're moving on. That's a great place. But if I'm not implementing it, yeah, you can do the self awareness work, but is that self love work getting there? Its needs met. So, like, if you want to work on a new business or a new product or anything like that, and you have the plan, but you're not implementing it, it's going to hold you back. You know, you're not working on your dreams, you're not working on your goals. because that self-care is not just rest. That self-care is your goal work, your dream work. And for me personally, I had to really take a step back and see, hey, girl, you're not where you want to be, because yeah, you write it here and that's a great start, but you're not implementing it. And I know, because of my self-awareness work and my self-love work, it's because I was scared. Like, this evolving seasonally didn't happen overnight. I had to go through a lot of stuff to get here. I really had to evaluate myself, my behavior. What do I want out of my life? And so I wrote the plans, right? For weeks, I wrote the plans, but I wasn't implementing it. So now that I am, I feel so much like love. I feel productive, and I feel just proud of myself, because even if I only get one watcher or one like or whatever, I'm still doing what I said I was going to do. And I'm still living my dreams and my goals. I am living a mindful life. So I hope all that makes sense. Let me give you 3 ways to start living mindful now. Okay. So, number one, remember our 3 components: self awareness, self love, and self care. So, before reacting, pause and think. Just think about, okay, why do I feel this way? Do I need a journal? Do I just need to walk? Do I need to go talk to a therapist, friend, coach, etc.? Sometimes for me, I gotta sit back. And sometimes I just go like this, and I just breathe, and I'm just kind of giving myself a self hug. And I'm just breathing, and sometimes I'm just mad and I gotta vent. Okay. And it's because we're human and we're allowed to have anger. And I think, that's going to have to be another separate video about emotions, but we're allowed to have our feelings. And don't let anybody tell you you're not allowed. It's not cool. It's toxic positivity. Okay. You're allowed to be angry, but you're not allowed to be unproductive with that anger. So that means lashing out without thinking, etc. So that's my segue on that. But, okay. So pause before you react. Okay. This next one is kind of my favorite, the self-love. Daily affirmations. I have them every single day on Evolving Seasonally on Instagram. And, you can just reflect on them, think about them. You can write them in your journal, your planner, etc. When you feel an unloving thought coming in, because mindset is so important. For me, I have to constantly be like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, I'm so hard on myself. Um, Sometimes it's just really hard for me to like see the good, but I have to step back and say, okay, this one thing I'm really good at today. Today, yes, the kids at my school were off in another world, but that one girl that was crying, I was able to help her today. And that made me good, made me feel good. And so that's kind of how I focus on that one thing. For you can be something else. It doesn't matter. We're all different, and that's okay. Um, and on that point, I just want you to understand that this work looks different for everybody, because we're all individuals and it's going to look different, and that's okay. I think we need to understand that, and as individuals, is that like we're not like this all the time, right? Development, I teach human development, child development, so this is kind of like in my wheelhouse. Development is not like this. Development is like, okay, so we have to understand that my journey is going to look different from yours, and that's okay. We're both worthy and we're both awesome. So there you go. So the last activity I have for you is one that you've probably seen everywhere, but it literally makes sense. It's the best one, I feel like. That's like the practical one, like this is what I can do right now and I don't have to put too much, like this over here is a lot of emotional work, these two, but this one is like, I just want to watch TV. I want to watch The Last of Us, which is what I'm going to do today. Okay. I'm going to watch that with my husband. I'm really excited. So plan something cozy, something fun, follow through with it. Have that fun and that excitement for yourself and that lovingness and that gentleness that you need for your life as well. So, so this is it. This is mindful living and mindful planning. And this is the foundation of planning. Because again, to recap, once you do this work, man, everything becomes clearer. You know what you want, you know what you need, you know everything that you want. Okay. So your plans become clearer because you know what you want and need for your life. And I want to leave you with that today. And thank you so much. This is like my first video in a very, very long time. And, I am not the best at speaking to the world out here in this YouTube and internet streets. I just not. I get really nervous. And thank you for understanding and being empathetic towards me. Um, I hope to do this more often. I believe that video is the way I'm going to move in the future because it's just so easier to talk to you like this and show you these graphics to help guide everything. And I really appreciate it. Catch me on the Instagram, the YouTube, my website, evolvingseasonally.com. And thank you again. Have a wonderful day, week, month, wherever you're seeing this, and take care.